The battle begins.
Gonna be scuffling over the runes just a bit. It does look like a 3-for-1 start in Talon's favor. Gonna be able to grab that top rune as well. Boom stuck with 1 rune. So we've seen this a couple of times from Boom. You know, they're willing to sacrifice those early runes. Take a look at the lanes as they break out down bot. Of course, Jackie on the Terrorblade, along with Skim on his Warlock, laning up against KP on his Mars, and Q on the Mirana. So again, looking at this duo out from Talon, this is something Boom knows very well. They're very familiar with what you want to do. Do you feel like the Warlock and Terrorblade can handle that lane? Actually gone. Trade's a bit too long with Skem. Skem gets a really good use of Shadow Word, and Q just not able to disengage. Did have 8 tangos on hand, but didn't really manage to use them. So first blood goes the way of Boom. Already getting a great start off, and it does feel like, again, that familiarity with what the Mars and Mirana will want to do. They know its shortcomings. They just run down to Mirana early levels. Arrow that's only secured a range creep. KP's been copping a lot of hits from Jackie with that metamorphosis, as he called out Otmo, and we'll have to see if Talon can find a way to reel this one back in as the levels go up. Of course, over on mid, as we have some time, Mikado versus Yopaj again on that tiny Pangolier. Again, we don't see too much of the tiny Pango, or at least we haven't seen it in the past day. How do you think this one shapes up, Otmo?
No goal for you! Look out for falling rocks!
Keeps trading hits with Skem. Skem just stands his ground, pops a Shadow Word, creates a right click. Warlock right click isn't too shabby to damage output he has, and this is giving Jackie so much room. He is finding a lot more farm than KP at the moment. He's got the sustain, all the sustain he could possibly ask for coming through from Skem. Skem is out of mangoes, so is out of that mana regen to sustain here, but still getting so much harassment off. Q just cannot trade. The Warlock has 60 base damage, Q only has 56, so he's losing every single time they trade right clicks. Ooh. Yeah, he's just been dancing around and really making this game hellish for Q. Still, well, we've got some time. The last thing we haven't really talked about up top, we've got Savage on the Monkey King, along with Hyde on that Disruptor. They are up against Tims and FBZ on the Rubik and Dawnbreaker, making some moves forward, getting some damage onto Hyde, and they are hammering down on Savage, but he's got the Jingu up. Looking for an angle out, does get the Boundless only onto 1, trying to trade hits with FBZ. Is it enough to kill him off? Starting to drop low, but the Boundless does lose it. The Jingu does lose its stacks as FBZ on the chase. Not quite enough mana. Does have the stick, but doesn't opt to go for it. And Savage going to be hanging on low HP. But a lot of aggression, a lot of trades up here up top, Otmo. Looking like it's leading to a bit of a better time for FBZ here.
Rolling out!
Yeah, and just those initial trades, just Q perhaps giving out that first blood, gives this opportunity for Boom to control the lanes a lot better, get that level lead up on Jackie, and really just expose the weaknesses of the Mars here. Just not able to do much. Great reflection spam out from Jackie as well. And we're just not seeing the impact of that Mirana. Now, Q is rotating towards mid. He doesn't really have the best arrow setup coming out from Pangolier. And we are still seeing Yopaj kind of overtake. They do manage to find that kill on Tims up top, punishing a bit of an overextension here from Boom's end. Savage still getting a bit of a chase off, but not going to be able to fully chase up. He does dive on that tier 1 just a bit. does have the mischief with the dodge chat damage. So Talon finds a kill, some punishment onto Tims. It still feels like Boom is getting more from these side lanes though.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
A little something extra for the event.
It's definitely a move that you're willing to make. Still, have to watch yourself with the damage output of Hyde now, that level 2 Thunderstrike, as you mentioned. FBZ sort of low on the regen, still has the stick charges to play with. Savage does get styled up as well to stay in that lane. Again, shaping up to still look a little bit better for Boom here. For Talon, what do we expect Q to do? Like, he's been hanging around mid, sniping couriers, securing runes, but they haven't been able to play around with that early aggression with the arrow, unlike Boom in the past day yesterday with Tims.
Middle is missing!
The prize is mine!
That should help!
Dire's middle
Just
tower
looking for
is
that
under
timing
attack.
coming out. A little bit of an opening for Yopaj to start hammering on that mid-tier 1 with the siege creep, forcing out the early fortify, and we're seeing Boom again group up as 3 down mid. Tim Scam showing up mid, just getting a shove in. Mikado does have the roll already, but and just doesn't have the follow through to play with that. Q's hanging around on the ramp, no angle for good arrows, and they're just managing to chip away. That's a lot of... It's not too much damage in the tier 1 mid, but it's decent enough to at least apply that pressure onto Talon. If you're Talon right now, considering the state of this early game, knowing how much Jackie's getting out of his own lane, what do you aim to do? Is this a matter of just maybe waiting for some level 6s on the supports, maybe waiting for a KP to hit at least an opportunity for the arena?
Dire are scanning.
Look out for falling rocks!
We support it.
Yeah, playing poke a bit does have that throw level 1, so he's got the armor to kind of cop through those hits. He's just going to go back to farming. Mikado does secure himself an illusion rune, but he's just farming up as well. Solar rotation up top. They spot FBZ. Thunderstrike out. Does have the Solar Guardian. He wants to get out of there. Glimpse back already. Doesn't quite stop that hammer from flying out. So the Celestial Hammer just allows him to rip right through. No kill opportunity coming out from town. So all the movement out from the sports just not panning out here, Optimal.
Executor style!
Yeah. Does not have the mana for the arena. Does have stick charges on hand. Toss back from Yopaj. KP dropping way too low to sustain. Is trying to stall with the God's Rebuke, but the reflection is there. Spear back. Can KP survive through the onslaught? There is Metamorphosis from Jackie. He'd rather not expend that. KP still trying to juke. Metamorphosis out, and they find that kill. So just go back to farming for Jackie. A great rotation out from Yopaj. Does find KP, and again, they've managed to put a big dent on that Mars. Just in a huge contrast to how FBZ's Mars games goes, this is extremely slow for
Amazing
KP.
what you'll find laying around.
Denied.
No. FBZ held back by the boundless rollout from Mikado with the arrow connection. Should be a simple
Radiant's
kill on
top
that
tower
Bond
is
Breaker. And
under
it
attack.
takes them 10 minutes. They finally get a successful rotation up top. But and back to your point there, Ottomo, that blink inching closer for Yopaj. We've seen that timing before here. They've done nothing to stop him. He's still allowed to farm up, and that build-up's getting awfully close.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Rock on!
Yeah, and we see that build up for the Dawnbreaker. It's usually like the BKB shards, maybe a blink. Then you can kind of go for the basher, your X-Risk. But just that BKB blink and shards is a lot of gold to invest on the offlane in comparison to what you mentioned. KP really just needs his own blink up. Still a ways off from that though for KP. Still significantly behind
Radiant's
even in
middle
comparison to
tower is under
FBZ.
attack.
Speaking of, they are starting to clump up top. Savage does spot the rotations with his little tree dance. Yopaj not going to convert free cut yet. Wukong's out onto Yopaj. Can he get the lockdown? Toss back on the monkey. Doesn't toss him out of the Wukong's roll from Mikado. Arrow does connect onto Yopaj, but Solar Guardian's there to stall. Enough HP coming through onto Yopaj, but there's Savage with a jump in. Hammer doesn't save, and FBZ's forced to kind of run. Static Storm doesn't quite connect for a long time. Glimpse back is there. Sustain coming through from Skem to hold back as we're getting some FPS drops here, but Mikado's still standing forward, starting to drop low. They do manage to clear out FBZ. Skem did drop the goal and might find Hyde with a little bit of a chase down, but doesn't quite fully commit. Savage onto Skem, gets the JD stacks off. One more right click does find a kill, but Savage is dropping pretty darn low here as well. Might melt to that Shadow. We're trying to get the TP play back home. Does barely make it out with enough HP. So a little bit of a back and forth. This time around, Talon finds a decent set of kills.
Rolling out!
Haste!
Dire structures are fortified.
Rock on!
Dire's top tower is
So
under
less than
attack.
1k. You still have issues with how much Jackie's farming up, which you equalize elsewhere. Still, Boom has the opportunity to shove in top just a little bit more. Top tier 1, not the healthiest now on Talon's end, and should be found without contestation from Talon. They are grouping up bot. Did smoke out with Mikado and with Hyde, but
Radiant's bottom
Jackie has
tower
left
is
the
under
building.
attack.
You might find Yopaj. No, they still find Jackie in the jungle. Static Storm's effective. Jackie's starting to drop low. He's going to get rolled on by Mikado. Can he find the chain stun? He needs the Sunders right on time from Jackie. The jumps from Tims with a stolen leap. And even Tims is alive. He has a rolling thunder. He's a rolling cube right now, looking for the target. KP in the middle of this. Does have Arena, but doesn't have anyone to follow up. He's left for dead. And Tims, with the leap, with a roll, turns things around for Boom.
To the sense.
Let chaos.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yopaj, Avalanche toss for the blink, and the Solar Guardian coming through onto Mikado. Lift this up. Mikado still alive through this, but doesn't have the swatch to get away. Still chasing here. Mikado does have the swatch now. Is he actually safe? Toss out, and the Avalanche is there. Mikado is gone. Boom. With that blink on Yopaj, is working the map here, Optima.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant
Got
structures are
ample
fortified.
opportunity now. They bring Jackie down mid with a Metamorphosis, chipping away at that tier 1.
Radiant's bottom tower
Talon,
is under attack.
it's gone.
Dire's
Shredding it
middle tower
with the
has
Terror
fallen.
Blade. Completely gone. Talon not going for the defense here. Trying to push in bot themselves. They do manage to at
Radiant's
least
bottom
find one
tower
tower, but that's
has
2
fallen.
towers for Boomis. They're still clumping around. Yopaj hang behind that tier 2. Not going to go fully in for the shove on the tier 2 just yet. It does feel like Talon's losing out on opportunities. Look at Boom. Just smoke up once more. They've got the Golem. No downtime here with Yopaj. They might be able to find more here.
Vanish.
Rock on!
KP managed to catch out. KP does have the Arena. The roll is still up on Tim's. They should be able to find that simple kill on the Mars, and that blink is stalled out once more. 3 gold away, couldn't buy out before dying. And they just keep stalling out that Mars here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You have nothing to handle that spell immunity here on Talon's end. And it just goes back to that pick. Although they catch out FBZ, they drop the Wukong, so Boundless out and left, but they do get the Static Storm. Manage to hold him down. A Thunder Strike stolen here by Tims. Does have a lot of damage coming out onto Q. Aren't able to follow through, so they find... It's just back to this. Maybe that's mid Pangolier, right? Like, it's not quite the bursty hero on mid we wanted to. Another, you know, they're just not able to eat through that high HP coming out from both sides. They are still making a move out. No smoke expended. The angle. They've got the blink on KP now. Just need a good angle for that Arena. Don't want to just expend it on the supports that they see. Jack is a bit further up. They need to gap close somehow, and Talon not finding the opportunity. Good scan out from Boom as well, knowing that Talon's hanging on the low ground, and that fresh BKB is up and running on Jackie, as you mentioned there, Automo. So, completely protected on Terrorblade. No way to deal with that spell immunity yet on Talon's end. Still staying as a unit, though. They don't quite have Static Storm yet, still half a minute away, but KP blinks forward, does get the Arena. Only onto Skem. Stolen Arena out from Tim, Solar Guardian to save. So they can't even find that, but they do glimpse FBZ away. Yopaj over the Avalanche Toss does find Hive, but Yopaj might be a bit too far forward. Mikado gets a roll off, trying to look for the angle. Stolen Arena to trap the side of Talon in, but that just allows a spear out onto Yopaj, and Savage finds a streak for himself. BKB popped by Jackie. They catch out Mikado on the side. He still managed to run, but there's Tims once more with Stolen Rolling Thunder. And with that upheaval on Mikado, he can't run. He has to swash away, but that still gives a clean angle for them to run down that Pangolier. Starbreaker out, Mikado gone. So 2 for 1 in favor of Boom Esports in the end.
Haste! Doesn't even describe it.
Easy. Being hunted down, Starbreaker out. Arrow does not connect. The pushback from the gods would be close, but not close enough.
Dire's top
He's going to
tower
be saved.
is under attack.
Looking at how Savage is forced to play, this is actually a pretty tough Monkey King game. You have to be aware of your allied Mars Arena, and you have to be worried about that Dawnbreaker. And the Hammer just breaking trees. It doesn't feel like they can even use Savage as a forward core to kind of spot out and get the pickoffs. He's forced to play a lot safer. And even with his BKB coming out, it's tough.
Bountiful.
Get get the lift out onto Q, does try to leap away, but Tim's rolling, can still use the Fade Vault. Drive by for Tim's as he goes. He is such a menace with that stolen Rolling Thunder. It's just showing us how good he is on his Rubik. He's a menace, and you know, if he wants to play the Mirana, we've seen him with the stolen leaps before. It just doesn't feel like Talon has answers. Like, going back to that Ags point here, Automo, it can be great in hide, but it's so expensive, like you pointed out. I mean, what do you prefer to see then? We're seeing Mikado build into the Blink, Savage straight to the BKB, into the Scotty. They definitely do stall out, especially on Talon's end. I think they're very well known for their discipline and dragging games out, so we'll see if they can do that against Boom, who has been hungry. They are smoked up once more on Boom here, Automo. Yopaj, Scam, and Tim's on the hunt. No one in the top lane, though, to find, and no one in that top jungle. But they have forward vision, with a good ward snuck between that tier 2 and the jungle ramp. Might be able to play around with that. Bit of a longer flank around here for Yopaj. Has a good angle. The rest of Talon hanging on the tree side, though. Gonna have the backup to deal with that jump in. And they smoke up themselves. That might have been on the edge of the obs. I think it was. So let's see if Talon still finds success with this one. Dragging Savage out with his fresh BKB.
Is under attack.
FBZ full retreat does look like Boom just kind of saw that. Really good ward vision for Boom, and they just dodge.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No, they spear out FBZ, but they don't really have to fall through a bit too far back. Does use the BKB early, Solar Guardian out, toss onto Mikado. So they do manage to get the Static Storm, but Savage just jumps in without any backup and is forced to TP away. No help coming through for the Monkey King. And they find another on high. So it's almost going back to that point here, Automo. With a Disruptor, when you're behind, it just doesn't feel like it does enough.
Look out for falling rocks!
Dire will shine has fallen to the radiant.
Yeah, it just feels like Boom's going to be able to kick it into full gear. Not like they were slowing down anyway. It's Talon that's kind of on the back foot. If you're on Talon's side right now, just looking at the state of the game, what fixes this for Talon? What's the game plan here? Lift it up, and Jackie's just there. Doesn't even need a Metamorphosis. Stolen Spear by Tims, but the Avalanche from Yopaj. Simple kill onto KP, and Boom just again rolling through the map. They are buying space out for Savage. He's 3k behind Jackie, which isn't ideal, but not completely unplayable for the core-to-core matchup. But look at Boom. Another smoke out. No cooldowns to wait for with Yopaj. Double damage bottled up here as well. And he's sneaking around. No forward vision on the triangle. Talon is mainly playing on the bot jungle as well. So a bit of an awkward flank to find. They just hang around that mid. Replant that ward that gave them so much information earlier. And sneak into the triangle.
Top tower has fallen.
Oh god. Avalanche shots again onto Mikado with a Solar Guardian. Mikado doesn't have any choice. Just finding everything.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's courier has been killed. Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, they just don't have the openings. They lose their mid tier 2. Jackie just gets a bit of a shove in. Speaking of, Jackie is being hunted down, but he's got the Scotty and Aegis still up and running. Hide in the tree line. And Savage has eyes on him as well. And I don't know if they have enough for 2 lives, and Hyde will TP out. Not the target they'd want to gun for. Savage still stuck up front here. Does see vision on Tim, so we'll try for the solo kill onto the Rubik. With the BKB popped as well, but the Golem's already out. Savage just leaps away and will TP out of there. So baits out the Golem in exchange for his BKB. Is that worthwhile?
Attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
KP instant BKB onto Yopaj, does not manage to land a spear. He managed to get the step on the top. There is still a Solar Guardian coming through, but the roll coming out from Mikado, can he at least find Yopaj? He still manages to get tossed away, still stalling out. Q falls first, and Yopaj is still alive from that Shadow Word. Still living. Swash does the job from Mikado, but they're still on the chase, wanting to find Tim's next. Dude does have the Stolen Sphere, upheaval to slow down that progress. Tim still being chumped out, still looking for more FPZ. And Jackie cutting Savage off in the backline, finds that kill. Tim's still alive, but healing the Shadow Word once more. Still being held back. Spear out, doesn't connect, and Tim's and KP falls first. 3 for 1 so far. Boom are still on the chase. FBZ just hitting like a madman onto Hyde next. Critic down. Tim's gets another. And Talon's movements just don't line up there.
Look out for fallen rocks!
His positioning's just been on point with his Warlock, and his spell use has been phenomenal. Even like the upheavals to cut off these access points makes it difficult for Talon to re-engage. Yep. It's a good spell. It's a great slow in very good circumstances. It's a very good spell. It's one of the spells, you know, of all time. Yes, definitely is. No truer statement has been made. They tried to catch Yopaj, does manage to blink away. And mid tier 2 is already gone. Top tier 2 gone as well. And we're still inching towards that BKB. KP right in the front here. Aegis does expire. KP starting to blink away. They get the glimpse off, but Hyde's still sitting duck for Yopaj to just rip right through. Fine FBZ, Savage trying to get some damage, but FBZ just retreats, the rest of Boom collapsing from behind. Talon probably not too keen on forcing this fight out. They still have vision on Savage trying to clear out the creep wave. Moonlight Shadow will save. They back off. Haunting, Marina down onto Scam. They manage to lock in the Warlock. Starbreaker does not quite do enough, but that healing from the Soul Guardian does stall it out a bit. FBZ with a BKB trying to do something. The rest of Boom on the hunt from behind. The Talon disengages. They only find Scam for all their trouble, but it's a kill nonetheless for this team that's 20-9 behind.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh. Savage going on to FBZ. Still has his own BKB on Savage's end. Does manage to Starbreaker down. Still getting a lot of hits off, but there's Tim's with a backup. Lift up the stall, and Savage pops the BKB, trying to get the hits onto Yopaj. Forced to use the Wukongs and TP away. So, another big spet to spells. They can't even find a solo pickoff at Savage here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Push
attack.
info as well being dropped there
Radiant's
by Scam
top tower
for the
is
Joy
under
of All.
attack.
They're very keenly aware now. As yeah, it's getting tough. Like we do have the Mikado BKB over the Blink. He does rush that BKB first here Automo. We haven't seen the impact of it. And Boom right now just clumping around bot. Tier 2 faults. No outer towers left for Talon. As Boom, even without that Aegis, still have the angle for high ground. Silver Edge already up on Jackie. They got the damage with Yopaj here as well, just with the Echo Saber. And Talon can get the defense off here. Starting to come in. Mikado roll up here. Jumping forward to get the glimpse out. That is a stolen glimpse out from Tims, and Mikado just melts to the right click of Jackie. So jump forward, get the toss out, clear out high, gem on the ground. Don't even need it. KP will pick it up. That bot setter racks are gone. Savage trying to make something happen mid, going for a tier 1, but the TPs are coming in. They lift up Savage. He does not have BKB for 8 seconds. Solar Guardian down as well. Savage sitting duck to off his output and is taken away. Bloom just find everything everywhere.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Call it.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.